This story that I'm about to share to you guys is a painful and a stressful story. I'm sharing it out of pain, to be frank enough. Please, listen carefully, my people. This is not just any other video that you may just come across in this media. This is a call for concern for child trafficking. It's becoming a call for concern, please. This is a clear warning to everyone. My parents, guardians, and young persons watching this. This is just a 14-year-old that you'll be watching soon. That was trafficked by her own elder brother, who told her that she will be working in a factory in Mali. But the story turned around. Instead of working, she was sold to a Nigerian lady and then become what, a prostitute as time goes by. Oh goodness. This is heartbreaking and it's real, to be frank enough. Parents, please know where your kids, your children. Talk to them. Don't just let them see people because they are family. You hand over your kids to them. Evil can be hidden in familiar faces. Let's stay together and let's unpack this video step by step and let's see what happened.
So, you, lady, what's your name?
Na my name Adama.
Adama. Who say you come out?
Na Sierra Leone.
You come out Sierra Leone. Who say you this right now?
Na Mali.
Mali, no so? Okay. Yeah. Who that actually count now?
Na young man.
Young man. What he tell you for say he get for can do for an hour?
And he tell me mama say, he say na company work na don't open na we una go dey come go dey make biscuits, sweet, chewing gum.
C'est bon, non, il faut parler bon d'abord. Comment?
This is an ugly face of child trafficking in modern slavery. It is normal now. Instead of them making it physically, like how our great grandfathers and uncles were trafficked, now they are making it through what? Traveling, working, or in occupations per se. The trafficking don't just care about their what? Their victims. They don't care, no matter how they look at it, because they know the kids are not theirs. Imagine a 14-year-old girl being used. And mind you, this video you are just watching, this lady, it may be your child, your sister, your brother, or even somebody very close to his daughter. These children loses their childhood dignity and often their future. Imagine at 14 years old you have been exploited through sex. When will you gain yourself as a human being or as a lady? It is funny and painful to the extent that if you are not careful, you may run out of words. You may be frustrated. Imagine the trauma. A young lady at just 14 without not much knowledge, not much understanding. The physical abuse, the emotional scares, somebody being forced to have sex against his wish, which is very bad. Very, very, very bad. Because Africans have turned this habit to what a normal. In recent times, it's happened recently in Nigeria, and we may have them many there, but just that this girl is the fortunate one. Remind you, the girl is from Kenema, a biological brother. That's why I say earlier on, not all familiar faces are what? Good faces. This could happen to any child if we don't act. Please, as long as you are part and parcel of Sierra Leone, Africa, wherever you are, let's try to put things in place to prevent this reoccurring event. These are the things you'll be taking into consideration because the world is taking itself into another phase. If we are not active in trying to combat these situations, it may be something else. To be sincere enough. An advice I have to all parents, guardians, young kids or young persons watching this video, we must protect our children. This one goes to the parents. And it's not only to the parents. And mind you, if somebody is off Sierra Leone, doesn't mean the person is safe. It doesn't mean the person is okay financially. It doesn't mean the person has to stay there. No. There's tendency that the person may be faking it just to have the attention of the public. Because you know now people are chasing likes, comments, shares on the social media. So that's why when somebody is telling you that just come over this and that, it's crazy enough because if you are not mindful, you can be used for something else. Parents, don't just trust vague jobs promises. This has been the problem in Africa. We know how this is painful. This lack of jobs in Africa, West Africa to be precise, has led our sisters, brothers, aunties to be exploited in various nations. The Arabs, the other nations, the other parts of the world. People are facing tough times in those nations. It's not that that's their wish, but it's because they are in charge of green and pasture, which is what they are out for. Community speak of if something lacks us. Something looks suspicious because there's someone among the community must have just suspicious. Say, this is not okay. It is not okay because never mind. This is your sister, but somebody smart enough must have said something. The way this guy is talking, it is not okay because if somebody is saying send your sister or your brother to come and work, it must have shown in his action, in his body, in the way and manner how civilized. Because no matter where you are, wherever you go, there are some principle or strategy that you may try to adapt to. If you are not okay with them, you cannot move on. Government, stop turning a blind eye to this. Please. Papa government, please, we are begging. Because if these things are not combated at this early age, at this tender beginning of it will become something bigger than how we are expecting it to be, frank enough. Strengthen laws. Yes, the laws are laid down, but the problem is enforcing them has been the problem for the rest of African nations. Yeah, you cannot just lay down laws without enforcing them. It may kind of look funny because if laws are not enforced, I guess they will not be considered in whatever they do. Enforce borders. Learn to be checking these kids. Because this Mali, these other African nations traveling from Africa, within Africa, they scarcely use the airplanes because they cannot afford it. So it normally happens through this border. They use borders from Guineas or other nations and then take them to Mali. Punish traffickers harshly. And that was why sometimes when somebody say they should be punished, this and that, yeah, against them. I'm not against them because I care for the young ladies, because this is a trauma to this young kid. It's a trauma because she will hardly get over this thing. She will be fighting this for years before she can conquer and then become herself. It's only even take courage if she can be herself again. A call to action, please. Child trafficking is real. It's real, as I'm saying, it's real. It happens, and if we stay silent, as this is happening now, if we are continuing being silent as we normally do in Africa, we become part and parcel of the problem. Because a problem shared is a problem solved. If you cannot share the problem, you cannot act on them, you cannot try to enforce the laws, the problem can never be solved. But please, let's come together as a nation to try to combat situations. Share this video before you to reach what the supposing conversation. Like, let's start the conversation and let's try to get rid of this. Let me have what you think, let me have your point of view, and let's try to find ways of getting this. A big respect to the person that just did this video and then try to get that lady back. I guess somebody, some ladies, some other kids are there going through this similar thing. Just that this was a fortunate one. Yes, because she wasn't meant to go through this constraint. Please, I'm not here to talk much, but this is a very serious issue, because if these things are not combated, it's become something difficult to amend. The generation is turning to something else. Please, let's try to fight these things. I beg your pardon, please. If you're in charge, you know who is in charge, you know who are there, and those are in the habit of doing that act, please advise them. We are not many, just that the economy and other things are causing us to go through this funny stuff.